And we have our tourism minister on the line, Abla Gomashie.
Oh, Minister
Another
for
empowered woman.
Tourism, tourism,
culture, and creative arts.
You know, and they are both very artistic people too. So,
And she's my member of parliament.
me too. Why you?
Yes,
why?
All right, let's speak to her. So, we're talking about the By the Fireside. I'm not sure if Honorable Abla Gomashie was part of that production.
She was.
She was.
Very
Honorable
much
Minister,
so.
can you confirm if you were part of the production of the By the Fireside program, which was sponsored by the 31st December Women's Movement? And good morning, by the way.
Good morning, Bernard. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. So yes, let's pick it up from the By the Fireside, and then we'll broaden it.
Yeah.
Were you part of the production itself? Were you hosting at some point? Just clarify for us your role in that production.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all of you in the studio. Atioko, my daughter, how are you?
I'm very well, Mama. Good morning.
Great. Which is Kai, you owe me. Don't tell me that I'm your MP. Please, you owe me. Come and pay.
Is it you?
Oh, really? Oh, Marakuku, Emuledo, Mamaga, my Homaga, Nemia Gluka, Homania.
You go talk through.
Bernard, yes. So first of all, I worked with Bibi Groma, and Bibi Groma started the acting of By the Fireside. So initially, it was the adults who were acting in it before Madame changed it to having children do the play itself. And yes, I started working with By the Fireside as a production manager, production assistant. And the executive producer at the time was Mr. Ebo Hodgson of blessed memory, who was the deputy chairman of the National Commission on Culture. And then after that, I did makeup for them, I did props, and then eventually I became the producer of the show. And so I worked very closely with Mami Dokno, who was the host. And for many years, it was Kofi Middleton-Mens who was the director of the show for us. And yes, it is a 31st December Women's Movement production. So they sponsored it. And if I was struggling with finding finances, all I had to do was write. And I got the support that I needed to have the production done. Ambassador Victor Smith worked with Mrs. Rawlings at the time, and if I had my memo ready and I wasn't getting response, all I had to do was try and catch him, and then, the memo will get to Madame's desk, and approval will be given for the finances to be released to me. I'm so crushed, Bernard.
We haven't even started talking about her yet. I'm using the By the Fireside as an entry. But was she personally interested in the show? Was she watching it? Was she giving feedback? What was her vision for the program?
She was. And one of the things is that if the children danced and there was too much pelvic movement in the dance, she would call me and say, it's a children's program. They are not supposed to be doing dances with such emphatic, she would say, emphatic pelvic movement in children's dance will not be tolerated. I'll say, yes, madam. And so she will watch, and sometimes she'll get fabrics that she'll give to us to use for the costumes and so on. And apart from By the Fireside, she was also interested in children participating in national affairs. So Apioko mentioned the Queen coming to Ghana. She called me and said they had to do an Akwaba dance of a sort. And she was part of the rehearsal. She participated in the rehearsal with the children. She didn't just direct affairs at 31st. She was an integral part of everything, every detail. Like she always had a comb that she would comb through whatever it is that had the name of 31st December Women's Movement attached to. So yes, to answer your question directly.
So how did she influence your decision to enter politics? Because I know you are in the performing arts. At what point, what kind of influence did she have in your decision?
The influence would be that I met Mrs. Rawlings when I was 19 years old. So she Miss Auntie Cecilia Johnson and Sharia Ite, Auntie Sati, and Madame Betty Moldidrisu, all these women they were in my head. You know, if you understand what I mean, they were in my head. They were controlling how I position myself as a Ghanaian woman. But to pick the form to contest, that she didn't have any direct role to play in it, because by that time, I had offended her by not joining her party. And so it was President Rawlings, rather, who blessed me to go and contest. I went to inform him, rather, that I was going to contest the elections. And he blessed me, Dr. Jokoto and Dr. Agumenu. And unfortunately, for the two brothers, they didn't win. I won. And so Rawlings, rather, was the person who encouraged me to contest in the elections. I remember vividly the day I went to tell him. I went with W.R. McCall and a few of my colleagues, my comrades from the constituency, to inform Rawlings, but not Mrs. Rawlings, when I decided to come into active politics.
So how would you place her in terms of women activism in Africa, political leaders who were women? Where does she stand? How influential would you consider her to have been?
I think that if we will be fair and honest, we should give her all the credit as the one who was visible and laid the strong foundation upon which all of us have now built our careers on, or our occupation on. I think that we have not done justice to that as people. And sometimes it surprises me that intellectuals don't give her that credit. But as a child who grew up under her feet, I think that what she stands for has to be chronicled and celebrated by this country before she leaves the earth. You know, I mean, she's gone, but she's still here. The example she gave us was that you can be a woman, you can be a career woman, and you can be politically active, and you can be socially correct, and you can be anything that you wanted to be. It's cliche, but she lived it in every sense of the word. Apioko mentioned her role when she went to that assembly to go and do this. It was huge, Bernard. It was huge. And the fact that she made a conscious effort to pull women along, that yes, you are a woman at home taking housekeeping money, maybe not, but you can do it for yourself. I want to, her husband introduced this word into our politics. She conscientized us to dare to be different, to dare to do anything that we could do. So for me, maybe other women were there before her, but like the Kwame Nkrumah story, you see, many people will say that they were there, they were doing but we know he's the founder. That is that kind of situation that I placed Mrs. Rawlings in. That many people under Kwame Nkrumah, women were given slots to be in parliament, but the one who really brought politics and women's activism strongly in this country was Mrs. Rawlings, and kudos to her. May her soul rest in perfect peace.
So yeah, of course, let me allow you to pay your final tribute to her, and of course to the family. Of course, I started the discussion talking about 31st December and By the Fireside, but yeah. I am sure it will be appropriate for you to just say a few final words about her on air.
You know, last week, her daughters, Zana called me about something they're doing for their father, and Amina and Yasanswa wanted to see me. So I said, okay, they should come to the office in the evening so we can catch up and boss, because as I remember when I was producing By the Fireside, they were young and they were so respectful, and they would come, when they're coming to see their mother, they would stop and greet each of us individually. And I said, oh, come and let's catch up. So they came, and at some point in the conversation, I asked, is mommy eating now? Or she's still asking for crackers? And they said, she's still doing it. And we all had such a good laugh. This was, I think, on Tuesday or Wednesday last week. And for her to just bow out like that, it's hard. But I am the woman I am today. I'm sorry, I'm getting emotional. I'm the woman I am today because of the examples that she showed me. And it doesn't matter that she and I, in the last few, like 5 years, no, not 5 years, so from 2012, as Uncle Victor said the other day in the media, from 2012 that our relationships strained. I still give her credit for anything good that I have done for this country, because she made it possible for me to put my mind to doing that. So, for all Ghanaian women, Baba Namikata, Wafamo, the poe, thank you, CTFM, for what you do. Thank you for the examples you also have been setting for our country in the media space and in sharing your corporate image so beautifully for us to emulate. So
thank you very much.
I want to thank you.
Thank you very much, Auntie Abla. Thank you. And condolences to you and to all of us. That was the Minister for Tourism, Creative Arts and Culture.
And creative.